It is Tuesday, the 27th day of September 2011. Going to be live here for at least the next 3 hours. Simulcasting on your local AM and FM stations, global shortwave, XM satellite, #1 when it comes to free audio streams at Infowars.com. And, of course, in streaming 5-camera video shoot at PrisonPlanet.tv if you'd like to see a whole other dimension to this transmission. Okay, Jesse Ventura is going to be joining us. You remember when he filed his suit a few months ago, he had told me that he wanted to come on here and break the news of what his response was going to be if they threw his suit out of court. Pretty dramatic announcement that he hinted at that he would be making here. And then people said, well, where's Jesse Ventura? Well, the court... This is the longest this court has ever taken to rule on a pretrial motion to dismiss that the feds have brought forward. And the judges got to rule by November, by mid-November. So Ventura will be back with us to make that announcement either way, whether the suit's going forward or whether it's not going forward. Also, he's made good on his promise to not fly anymore. He's got a RV and is driving around the country for his TV show, Conspiracy Theory. So Jesse will be joining us to talk about Ron Paul, the 2012 election, and he's got some interesting political announcements he's going to be making because when he called me last week just to check in and say hi, I said, well, hey, you know, why don't you go ahead and come on anyways, even though you don't have information on the TSA situation. So he said, sure, because he's got a lot of other stuff to talk about. So Jesse will be joining us coming up today. And it's also good because he's not doing any media right now. You know, he does media kind of in these cycles when a book's out or the TV show's out or something's going on. But this will be a interview here in a doldrum when he hadn't been doing any interviews for the last few months. So should be informative with former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura today. Okay, you know the sun in the last decade first was very active, then was inactive for a while, and now it's the most active in the recorded history. There's only a few hundred years that they've been accurately able to really measure the amount of radiation coming off. One of the first high-tech things European scientists were able to do was measure sunspots and other things. And it's the busiest it's been in recorded modern history. And the Daily Mail and others are reporting the day the world went kaput, Earth in crosshairs of gigantic solar storm that could blow circuits of anything from satellite TV or electric power grids. Just a month ago, they had power out in areas of Arizona and California due to a solar storm that hit the Earth. Now, it only takes light, as you know, a few minutes to get here from the sun. But it takes these solar storms that move a lot quicker, a lot longer, and it's set to hit later in the day. A sunspot 62,000 miles across, so big it would dwarf the Earth, is releasing gigantic solar flares that could wreak havoc with electrical communications ranging from handheld electronics such as iPhones to sections of the power grid. NASA has detected 2 X-class solar eruptions from 1302, the most extreme in the past week. One that occurred September 24th, produced an amazing light show over England last night, but is far from over as the sunspot isn't yet directly aligned with the Earth. The Earth now, today and tomorrow, comes into alignment with the coronal mass ejection. Giant flamethrower shooting out from the sun. Looking at it eye on, it looks black because it's cooler than the actual sun because it's being released into deep space. And so basically a flamethrower is shooting out like a clock as the sun turns towards the Earth, and the Earth is coming in to that flamethrower. But we're not getting the flame. Its sense dissipates before it even gets out to Mercury. There's all that radiation, ionizing different types of radiation. That is coming at us. NASA experts have said anything electrical can be affected by such activity. And again, we can show folks a document cam shot of these. These are gigantic. It's actually 3 sunspots lined up. Hot stuff, the behemoth sunspot 1302 has been unleashing huge solar flares. Astronomer Dr. Ian Griffin, CEO of Science Oxford, told Mail Online, active region 1302 is the source of all of these auroras seen yesterday and may well be the source of some more auroras over the next few nights. That means it's charging up the atmosphere. Space weather forecasters estimate a 40% chance of more flares in the next 24 hours. Any such eruptions would be Earth-directed as the sunspot crosses the center of the solar disk. In short, with no moon in the sky and an active region of the sun, the next few nights may be very interesting for sky watchers, especially people towards the northern hemisphere. There is some danger, too, that the solar activity will disrupt communication systems, especially in upper latitudes, such as northern Canada and Scandinavia. The sunspot occurs when strong magnetic fields of the sun reach the surface, cool down, according to NASA. Large ones can be seen clearly through telescopes and powerful cameras. You know, my whole point with this is, that it's like the Iron Maiden song, Die With Your Boots On. You got all these prophets of doom and destruction who want to tell you that it's man-made or that our carbon dioxide is going to kill us. But they're not ever really worried about the asteroids or the solar flares or other things. And the fact is, this planet is out in deep space. There's all sorts of stuff drifting in and around us. We get hit by things all the time. Ever been out to the big crater in Arizona? In fact, let's pull that up for folks. Giant crater in Arizona, we'll pull it up. You know, that's small compared to what it reportedly, they believe, killed the dinosaurs. And now they know these things are hitting the Earth every 100,000 years or so. They're not hitting every million or so like scientists had previously thought. Now that they have all these telescopes and other systems, radio telescopes, you name it, they're able to see big asteroids, meteorites hitting other planets, hitting moons, hitting Jupiter, hitting Saturn with much more frequency. They've done the mathematical algorithms. That's why we don't know the truth about human civilization. All we have is dingbat preachers' interpretations of the Bible and basically Masonic groups that wanted to discredit Christianity in the last 200 years that would misinterpret the Bible to make it look nonsensical and non-scientific to create a false debate. But you know, there's the giant crater in Arizona. I forget the name of that. What is it? Crater Monument? I forget exactly what they call it. I know it's like a state or national park. I forget. I've been there. I've been there as a child and hiked down into it. Amazing. In fact, that's somewhere I want to take my children to see the incredible things that are going on out west. Okay, I tend to get on air here, especially when I have read news that really gets me upset. And I tend to procrastinate getting to it. There is a well-orchestrated hoax going on with the controlled dinosaur corporate whore media to raise taxes on what's left of the middle class that are the main producers and consumers in the real Main Street grassroots economy. The Wall Street anti-reality crony criminals that are openly anti-free market and anti-family and anti-industry for the West have publicly been financing the controlled left and pushing the hoax on every news show I tune into. This week on ABC, you name it. Warren Buffett everywhere for 2 years saying, I'm rich, raise taxes on me, I'm exempt from taxes, it's wrong. And then when you go see the taxes he's supporting, it's a tax increase on people making $125,000 a year individually or $250,000 man and woman as a couple. That is not rich, the devalued dollar. That is middle class. And if they keep devaluing the dollar, it'll be lower middle class soon. And and I've done reports on this, but if you go look up Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and others, they lobbied in the last 15 years to get the tax laws changed to make themselves exempt. And that's why Microsoft pays almost no taxes, General Electric, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's outfit, all of them. Google, the list goes on and on. And because they know people aren't sophisticated because they're not paying attention, they go, isn't it wrong that we're paying no taxes? And then individually, they're paying almost no taxes. Individually, Warren Buffett says he pays 12% taxes, and I've looked it up, that's true. His corporation's nothing. And he has foreign subsidiaries and private foundations that pay zero. But the bait and switch here is that he's not talking about getting rid of that or the tens of trillions that are offshore and exempt. In fact, he's trying to make a deal, and other elitists are right now, to bring that money back basically tax-free. That's been in the news. And they hold us hostage. They say, well, we won't bring back these trillions unless you make them tax-free, while lecturing all day. But I saw a Chicago Tribune article last week about property taxes up, home values down. And it's forcing people out of their houses, which is what the system wants. They want to nationalize housing. You'll still have a few corporations that make the money off of it, but it'll be government managed and taxpayer backed. And I saw another article out of Illinois today where they're raising scores of taxes, knowing it'll destroy the economy. So I thought I'd get into that. And then they've begun the move for forced inoculation door to door. And I'm so angry about this that I'm not going to get angry. And I'm not going to get angry because I don't have the energy or the voice for it. And I'm going to come back and break this down. Stay with us.